Nice weather again across the area today, but I'm tracking winter back into town. I'll tell you when it arrives straight ahead.
Last night we told you a mistake meant Lexpark had overcharged on parking tickets for nearly 4 years. Today, officials are working to make it right.
A not-so-typical house party begins at midnight on this college campus. I'll explain coming up.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4:30.
Good afternoon. Sam, Dick, and Amber Philpott reporting. Hopefully you enjoyed the string of beautiful weather we've had because colder weather is moving right back into the bluegrass.
And with that comes another threat of snow for our weekend. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. Hi, Chris.
Hey, guys. You know, it's been a relatively snow-free December into January so far. The most snow we've had all winter came back in the fall in the month of November when it snowed, I believe, on 9 different occasions in Lexington. So here we are now in a bit of a snow drought. Snow lovers are going crazy, wanting something. You got to look back to the southwestern part of the country for something that at least has us in the crosshairs for some possible snow accumulations as we go into the second part of Friday and Friday night. That is an area of low pressure that is spinning across the four corners, pulling up moisture out ahead of that. Storm track on that will take it toward Louisiana, through Texas, Louisiana, and then toward parts of the Carolinas, maybe right on top of the Outer Banks by the time we hit Friday. Typically, a storm track like that is one that can bring the chance for accumulating snow to parts of central and eastern Kentucky. So on your weather headlines, that is indeed what we are watching for late Friday. I think the best chance will be Friday night into Saturday morning for some out-and-out sticking snows throughout parts of central and eastern Kentucky. And behind that, we have some lighter snow chances as clippers become involved in the overall pattern. So, guys, yes, we've been in a snow drought, but we're getting into what is typically the snowier time of the year for parts of central and eastern Kentucky. When I come back in a little bit, I'm going to show you who has the best chance of seeing some of that sticking snow to start the weekend. That's with the full forecast that is about 10 minutes from now.
Thank you, Chris. The Lexington Parking Authority admits it mistakenly doubled parking fines for years. The board chair went public with that yesterday after WKYT had filed several open record requests about the mistakes. And today we're learning more about what they plan to do about the problem.
For 4 years, fines for expired parking meters in Lexington were automatically doubled after 10 business days, even though the city ordinance says that violators have 30 business days to pay the $15 fine. Today, Sean Moody talked to the chairman of the Lexington Parking Authority Board about the issue. It's our top story at 4:30.
The Lexpark chairman told me they're working to notify people who may have been affected. He says they should have all the information they need to get in touch.
From the summer of 2008 to the spring of 2012, parking tickets for expired meters that weren't paid within 10 business days were automatically doubled. The city ordinance gives people 30 business days to make a payment before the penalty hits. After WKYT began asking questions, Lexington Parking Authority officials announced the error. Lexpark officials blamed it on a clerical mistake. Now they're working to make things right.
We're hoping that everybody, will participate and get their money back.
Lexington Parking Authority Board Chair James Frazier says about 6,300 people were affected, and for 97% of those cases, they say they have names, addresses, and license plate numbers. They plan to send out information cards to the people affected.
Check the box, send it back in, and once we get that back, we'll send them a check along with a voucher for the parking garages.
Now, Frazier said they'll also be able to verify cases through name and address in case the car affected has been sold. In Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Frazier said the error was discovered and corrected back in 2012, but the board didn't find out about it until last week. He said he would like to have known about the situation at the time, but also said he believes Executive Director Gary Means has done a good job. Traffic is moving once again on I-75 in Cincinnati after an overpass collapsed during demolition Monday night.
Tons of debris had to be removed from the interstate, and the southbound lanes were closed for about a day. The collapse killed Brandon Carl, a construction worker from Bracken County. City officials say they're grateful the accident happened during the overnight hours and that the loss of life was not greater. But for friends and family of Brandon Carl who died, the grief is enormous. Jay Warren has more.
Every day during the week, Brandon Carl would get up before sunrise and leave this beautiful countryside behind him to go work in the city. On the weekends, his father, Charles Carl, says that he would come help him farm.
He's a good, honest, hard-working man that took care of his kids.
And for people who knew Brandon Carl, like his neighbor, Clayton Insko, He was a very generous man.
He was always a good neighbor and everything to us, and he would always come over here, like sometimes and come over and check on us if we needed anything, and he's always a great guy.
All them kids was well-mannered, and had a little boy that just started kindergarten, Ross, and that little boy, I don't know what he'd do. He thought so much of his dad. It's pitiful. Well, they all thought a lot of him. He loved his kids.
And like everyone else in this community, Brandon Carl's father, Charles, is going to miss his son.
I know one thing, I'll sure miss him. Sure miss him.
Terrible loss. Funeral arrangements are pending, but they're being handled by Metcalf Hennessy Funeral Home out of Augusta.
The search continues for the man who robbed a Lexington gas station overnight. It happened at the Speedway at New Circle and Meadow Lane just before 6 this morning. Police say a man wearing a gray hoodie implied he had a weapon and demanded cash. After grabbing some money, the suspect ran away. Police searched the area, but they were not able to find the suspect. A Kentucky gas station employee is being credited for foiling a robbery by spraying the suspect with tear gas. Ashland police say the would-be robber tried to hold up the Marathon gas station on Greenup Avenue. After being sprayed, the suspect left without taking anything. Police are still looking for that man.
She was the only survivor of a Kentucky plane crash that killed her parents, her sister, and her cousin. Now a brave young girl is on the road to recovery with the help of her small Illinois community. It's been nearly 2 weeks since 7-year-old Sailor Gutzler walked almost a mile through the woods to a Lyon County home to get help. As the community continues to mourn the deaths of Marty, Kimberly, and Piper Gutzler and her cousin Sierra Wilder, they're focusing on helping Sailor move forward and heal.
We were glad to see that she was up and about. She had a St. Louis Cardinal red cast on her arm, and she's just an amazing little girl with a loving family, and they're just surrounding her, trying to support her at this time.
At the school that Sailor attended with her sister, the superintendent is offering support for students and staff coping with the great loss. Based on the size of the crowd, you might have thought that there was some kind of big game in town.
It was quite a sight to see. Hundreds turned out in Danville to watch people move a house through the middle of campus of Center College. Whitney Wetzel has reaction to the historic move.
Workers were out well into the early morning hours moving this 2-story house half of a mile to this site on Center College's Greek Row.
The thing of it is, we went through the middle of Danville with it, and to take care of all the obstacles and all the people involved, it was quite a feat. It was quite a feat to have it done.
A feat that took months of planning and a trailer moving at a snail's pace. Fast forward an hour and a half later, and this historical building that once sat on North 5th Street now has a new home on West Walnut.
Well, this is a house that we were not going to be allowed to take down, and we decided to make lemonade out of lemons, and we're now moving it.
Kentucky law requires any moves like this to take place at midnight to minimize inconvenience. But the event that hasn't happened in more than 4 decades in Danville turned into quite the party.
I mean, this is what my college is about. It's about having a good time across all the sororities, fraternities. Everybody's out here having a good time. There's some professors out here saying hello too, so it's a great vibe here at Center College. I love it here.
We like to think about Center College as being a place of adventure. Tonight, the adventure continues.
Now, I talked to emergency management officials this morning who tell me that crews plan to begin moving the house to its permanent foundation as soon as possible, and after that, they'll begin renovations. In Danville, Whitney Wetzel, WKYT.
And school leaders tell us that home will be used to house between 8 and 10 students beginning this fall.